right, we're back.
I'm a runt.
We caught a runt. We were fishing.
A 5 rupees prize for that.
We're playing Link's Awakening.
Okay.
And I'm looking across your street there. I just saw like a sump pump kind of just like splooge out. That was weird.
Sometimes it's
I
fun.
just looked over. I was like, what's happening?
Sometimes it's fun to hear that sound of gurgling.
So, do you think they have yet to announce more stuff for the remake? Or do you think like they're kind of holding off on like new features? Because that dungeon feature was really cool, but I hope they save like some of the really cool stuff for later.
As far as like new features, I honestly couldn't say. Like, I don't know what else they could add to the game without changing it fundamentally.
Right. How long is this game? The Game Boy games are meant to be a little bit quicker than the normal.
Yeah, but it's still of a decent length that you don't feel like you've like just paid money for a really short, cheap experience. If you know what you're doing in this game and you just go for the objectives, I'd say you could probably beat it in like 6 to 8 hours.
Gotcha.
Pretty easily. But if you want to take your time and explore around and really just live in this world for a little bit, you can go like 12, 14, maybe even push it to 20 if you just want to like... Because the bow is like 980 rupees and takes a little bit of time to farm that. And then if you want to look around for the secret seashells to get the better sword, you can do that.
Gotcha.
The one thing that I never got to take advantage of from this original game as a kid is the Game Boy printer features that they have in it.
Oh, neat.
Actually, after we're done fishing here, we can go and start that, and I'll show you. Like, there's just times where you meet this camera guy, and he's like, "Hey, if you ever meet me around, I'll take a picture of you wherever you're at." And then there's certain places you can go, or certain events you can trigger that will like get him to appear and take a picture, and then once he's taking the picture, it shows you the like art of what that picture would be. And you have the option to print it with your Game Boy printer, but I never had one.
Aw.
And it would probably turn out like really crunched and just...
Oh god.
It's a big one!
That was quick.
A piece of hurt.
Kick ass, dude.
Try again? Well,
There ain't no more fish in
this
this
pond's all
pond.
fished out. Why not try your luck in the sea? Okay. Did I say that? Forget it, okay? Run along now.
He kind of has like a Dr. Grant hat on, like or no, Muldoon. Is that his name?
God. Yeah, it's close to that. If it's not Muldoon.
I think it is.
But you're right, with the like...
Shooter! That guy from Jurassic Park. Shooter!
The Rescuers Down Under.
That guy too, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that mouse.
The guy that played... Well, I was talking about the villain in that.
Oh, George C. Scott.
And George C. Scott plays the main character, and once I rewatched Rescuers Down Under, I was like, oh my god, that's George C. Scott. And then I realized, oh my god, George C. Scott played the main character in The Exorcist 3, Legion. And I can't separate the two in my mind, so when I watch Rescuers Down Under, I'm just thinking of Detective Kinderman just going around like, you cocksucker.
Oh god.
Have you seen that?
Joanna.
Legion? Yeah, Joanna. No, he doesn't have an accent. He's just... Joanna!
Joanna.
I mean, he's like a little bit of like a southern drawl.
Got that raspy George C. Scott voice. Rescuers Down Under is pretty underrated in my opinion.
It is, but it also like... And this is probably just a symptom of me...
Not talked about a whole lot.
No. I feel like the first one's talked about a bit more.
Yeah. Maybe.
And it was always... Because it never seemed like The Rescuers was a movie that would get a sequel, but then it got a sequel with Rescuers Down Under. And then that led me to believe, okay, well then a third one will be coming at some point. But it never did, and that seems like a great opportunity for them to revive it. Like, obviously, you don't get Zsa Zsa Gabor and...
Yeah, who was the guy in it? Was it
God damn.
Bob Newhart?
Maybe
I could.
You'll have to look that up.
I'll look it up real quick.
But
here.
this is the guy that you meet, and look, he's got look at his little one piece of camera or like photography equipment down there.
Nice. Do some product shots.
And then you stand here, and he's like, okay, I'll call this "Here Stands a Brave Man." Say cheese. So I actually, now that I think about it,
Yeah, Bernard is Bob Newhart.
Yep. Let's see if we can fill that album. Okay, Mr. Mouse Man. The Travels of Bimk. Do you want to look at your album? Well, look. And now that I think about it, that
Cute.
I can.
Oh yeah, sure.
I can see
The
like
amiibo?
where the design for Link in the new one comes from. But this is the kind of charm that you get from the original, the Game Boy printer feature. He takes little pictures of you, and you're like, oh, that is what Link looks like.
That is cute. His little like tassels or like his
Sideburns.
weird
that are,
sideburns.
Like,
Yeah. You gotta love that.
Stubby little legs and
And
arms.
his what do you call that? A coif? Like his weird.
His coif is yeah.
Maybe pompadour. But
Pompadour.
It's like a droopy pompadour.
Pompadour.
That's what we should have named him.
But this right here, that building that says camera, is not in the remake. That is replaced with the building that you would enter to do the dungeon creator.
Oh, cool.
Which is a bit of a shame because I recognized the screen
the screen, and
that,
then you're like,
that was housed on, and I was like,
camera.
that's not the camera shop. Where's my purple mouse man?
maybe he's somewhere else. You never know.
I would be so happy with that.
But
Even
they
if there wasn't like a mouse man and like he took pictures of you. Oh. Watch this bird. Come on, bird. Oh. The other one was like turning back and forth.
Not
really
fall
quick.
into the hole.
But even if you just like walked up to a spot and they did like a slight homage to it, where they just like zoomed in that sort of way and you could see Link a little bit closer, I would be totally okay with that.
Is the amiibo him going like this, like they're doing the peace sign?
No, it's just him with like sword and shield.
Gotcha.
Not in any action pose. Zimbies, pink zimbies. We need to continue this trading.
Doing a training quest.
The trading. What is it called? Trading sequence.
Yeah, it's like when you're trying to get the big Oran sword in Ocarina of Time.
Mm-hmm.
Just back and
Ooh.
forth, back and forth.
Since we actually. Another fun thing about this game,
A cheval.
you can actually steal from these shops.
Yep. But then he gets mad at you, right? He like puts out a assassin on you. And
He gets mad because if you ever enter his shop again, he's standing up here and there's no items in the shop, and he immediately starts a text conversation with you that's like, oh, you fucking stole from me, time to die. And then he rubs his hands and shoots lightning at you and kills you immediately.
I can't wait to see how that works.
I'm
in
not
the
gonna do
remake.
it.
In the remake, it'll look awesome.
He
Like becomes like what was that one evil guy? Aghanim? Yeah. He's just like he like floats.
I think in some of the footage that they showed of it, you see Link in that shop and he picks something up and then he starts walking not toward the door. So I was like, oh, you sneaky devils. You're probably insinuating that you can steal from him.
Yeah, no
But-
doubt.
If you do successfully do it, every person in the game from then on calls you thief instead of whatever you put in as your name. So at the end of the game, when you're talking to like, you know, when you saved the kingdom and everything, and the grand speech is like, thank you very much, thief. You've saved our kingdom. And it just keeps driving it in and reminding you, and you're like, ooh, I feel bad, or I don't.
That'd be awesome if they had that like you know, that anime accent when like you would kind of talk down or like scold somebody, like their face would turn purple or something, and they would be like, thief, just for that moment. Congratulations! They're all happy, and they're like, thief.
Yeah.
And they got like angry lines down their forehead.
Man, give me that to me, please.
I'll give you
He's
some-
hysterical. What do you do? Don't. Nah, we'll give it to him.
Yummy, dude. Oh, I love his bed is on like a little bit of water. It's a water bed.
And this kind of stuff, like the interior of this house, they changed that in the remake. Like they added like a hammock, and there's a few more like just bits and bobs all over the place. It's like little details that make the world feel so much more rich and lived in. And if you had to guess what this blue Crocagator's name was, what do you think it would be? Here's a hint. It has to do with commerce.
Like coin or something, or dollar.
Yeah, I mean, you're in the right vein.
Crocodollar.
$1. Crock me $1, son. I'm a bit poor.
How about we be back in the next episode and you'll tell me the name?
Do you want to just find out now? I can just tell you now.
Oh yeah, tell me now.
Well, no.
Oh, okay.
I said I could, but I'm not
Don't tell me
going
now.
to.
All right, we'll be back.
I saw the sign, and it told me about sea urchins. I saw the beam.